Hey guys, it's your friend Amber V from Amber Valentine's Shriveled Heart and the Skeletons Left Behind. I bet you thought these boy advice videos were over, but you were wrong. I'm making another one. This is boy advice webisode video thing number 4. Sorry, boy advice with Amber V is the actual name. I'm a little out of practice, obviously, but today I have 4 questions to get me back in the swing of things. They're all from Miranda from Michigan. First, she asks, when you like someone, really like them, how do you get up the nerve to ask them out or just to hang out? I never can for fear of rejection. Well, Miranda, I don't know if you're talking to the right girl because I'm such a rejection baby. Nothing crushes me more than rejection, but also when I really like someone, I want to kiss them, so it's like, I guess I have to pursue you. I always end up flirting in like a really awkward, weird way. So if a guy passes all my secret tests and he's deemed good enough to be my boyfriend, which is a really rare occurrence, I'll be like, wanna listen to records sometime? And then I usually just text flirt nonstop because, like, if you're nervous about talking to a guy, texting is the way to go. You can take your time about what to say, and you can also make sure that he has good grammar. Texting is like private Twitter. It's like you have 140 characters or less. Be witty, be charming, go. No matter your approach to asking a guy to hang out, though, you're gonna be nervous. I'm like the biggest anxiety-ridden baby in the world, so it usually means I really like a guy if I ask him to hang out because it takes a lot of nerves. I guess basically just ask yourself, would I regret not asking him to hang out? And if you would, then just swallow the puke in your mouth and go for it. I don't know if you puke when you get nerves, but I do. Fun fact. Next, Miranda wants to know, how do you tell if a guy likes you, especially if it's really unlikely but you just get that sense? I'm awful at telling when guys like me. Usually I just assume they don't until they kiss me and I'm like, oh, hey, cool. There are certainly signs that if a guy likes you though, like if he hangs out with you one-on-one or if he buys you a beverage when you guys are at the soda shop. Uh, Things like that. If he laughs at your jokes and smiles a lot at you and never is careless with your emotions, then he probably likes you. But you can't know for certain. If you could just look at a guy and know if he liked you or not, life would be so much easier. But I can tell you that most girls don't have any inkling how cute they look, especially to guys. Like, there have been so many guys I've looked back on and been like, oh, why did I like that twerp? And then I'll look at me, like, from the same time period and be like, oh, I was way too good for him. So if you're watching this, chances are you're at least 20 times cuter than you think. Personally, I think I look like a blonde Shrek, probably like doubly so with this hair. I was going for Sailor Moon, but I don't have enough hair to do that yet. It's really frustrating. I can kind of do the Sailor Chibi Moon thing, which works because I have pink hair anyhow. But I don't think that most people would look at me and be like, that girl looks like Shrek. At least I hope not. Self-esteem pro tip. Okay, so this next question is really fun. It's, what are your favorite flirting techniques? As I've mentioned before, I'm the worst flirter ever. I feel like all my flirtings are really awkward and just weird. But even so, I love flirting, and over the years, I've come to embrace my weirdness when flirting. Part of that is because I am weird. I can't pretend I'm not weird to a guy when I'm flirting with him because that'd be false advertising. You don't want a nice normal BF who thinks you're a nice normal GF and then you reveal your true identity as a weirdo. Like, what would he think? You'd just get dumped or be miserable and dump him. I don't know. Why would you date someone normal anyhow? That sounds stupid. But it's easiest to flirt when you have things in common. So find out what you have in common with someone and just run with it. When I like someone, I just try to be witty and charming and endearing, like, as much as I possibly can. For me, that's easy because I am so witty, charming, and endearing. But if you aren't, just play up your best qualities. Know a lot about music? Talk about that. Have interesting stories involving exotic locations? Tell them. And fun facts in general are great to spit out when flirting too. Like, did you know that certain mice are born with a genetic defect called waltzing mouse disorder? They walk funny and it looks like they're dancing. I've never seen one. It's just what I hear. It's kind of interesting, huh? I mean, you're into mouse knowledge. Bam. I just flirted with you. Lastly, Miranda asks, why don't guys like me when I'm pretty enough, smart enough, nice, and not fake at all? I don't know if I can adequately answer this as in-depth as I'd like to. First off, guys aren't all that matters. There's so much more to life than boys, even though when you like a boy, it usually feels like the end of the world if he doesn't like you back, because no one is more perfect for you than him, right? Not true. If a guy doesn't like you back, then you can't convince him to like you, and even if you could, he probably wouldn't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated because he wouldn't really like you. Just because a guy doesn't like you doesn't mean you aren't pretty or nice or smart or that you're fake. It probably seems like all the wrong girls are getting the best guys. That feeling doesn't really go away. Like, I've had so many guy friends that I think deserve the world, and they've dated girls that I find abysmal or insufferable or just total bitches. It's the worst when someone you like goes for a girl and they just have no redeeming qualities. And I've totally been there. It's like, her? And then you feel awful about yourself because it's like, what does this gross mean girl have that I don't? Sometimes it's hard being a nice girl when you're dating. It seems like a lot of guys don't want nice girls. If I like someone, all I want to do is make them happy and be with them. Sometimes that isn't enough for a guy. Have you ever been in a place in your life where you just couldn't understand why anyone would like you, or you just wanted to be left alone? If someone liked you during that time, you might not be the most receptive to it. So there are a lot of outside factors to take into account when liking someone. A lot of those factors are things that you might never know. It'd be really cool if people could just all be honest with each other about how they feel. But remember how I was saying how nerve-wracking rejection is earlier? Yeah. No one ever wants to say how they feel because everyone's afraid of those feelings not seeming valid in the eyes of others, which sucks. I'm personally working on being less of a big fraidy baby about my emotions, and half the time I just wish I had a handful of Xanax and I could go into a bliss coma. But you can't spend your life in a bliss coma because people in comas can't do a lot of fun things like go to the zoo and eat cookies and make out. Being in a coma would suck. So I guess you just gotta wake up every day and be thankful you aren't in a coma and kick ass at life because you're alive, and tomorrow, who knows, you could be in a coma. Deep thoughts. So if you have boy questions for me, or any questions, girl questions, dog questions, I'll probably answer those too. So you can send them to me at ambervalentinesshriveledheart@gmail.com, or you can go to my really awesome Tumblr, which has a lot of cool gifts. Links are below. You can ask me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. You can go to Bandcamp and download my new song and listen to my voice and ask it questions as it plays through your speakers. There are so many ways to ask questions to me, and I love to answer them because I like talking. It's fun. So until next time, this has been Boy Advice with Amber V. Good luck with all of your boy problems, kids. I'm here if you need me.